Tonight on To The Point, Governor Newsom campaigning in other states for President Biden. But is he committed to California?
When I say I'm all in, I'm all in.
Why he says his actions right now will help Californians.
Lack of breeze making a big difference in the heat for today, plus a new timeline tonight on when this all ends.
Inside the urgent search tonight for 2 young children after their mother was found dead in Sacramento. And ABC 10 stands for you, asking how law enforcement is trying to keep people safe following 3 drownings at a popular reservoir.
We're starting off tonight with breaking news just into the newsroom. Sacramento police are investigating a shooting that left 2 people hurt. It happened near the Walgreens off Broadway around 4:30 this afternoon. Police have the entire parking lot and nearby sidewalks blocked off. It is unclear what led up to the shooting, but we will keep you updated as we learn more. As always, thank you so much for joining us tonight on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell, and we are, of course, tracking another round of extreme heat, and we'll have your full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. But first tonight, as the countdown to Election Day continues, Governor Gavin Newsom has been active on President Joe Biden's campaign trail, leaving many Californians wondering about his commitment to his home state. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen asked the governor this morning about his goals for California and shares with us how he believes the presidential election would have a severe impact on the state of California.
What was supposed to be a discussion on California's efforts to combat wildfires and extreme heat.
Behind us are our Black Hawk helicopters that have been introduced and are available to fly at night when needed.
Turned into a discussion on Governor Gavin Newsom's commitment to California as the state faced a deadly heat wave last week with record-breaking temperatures.
What do you have to say to people who feel like this press conference is coming a little too late, given that you left the state last week to be a part of President Biden's campaign?
As I noted, I was just here 5-6 days ago, right before we went out to the White House to get the emergency declaration signed and to get the kind of support that we anticipate we'll need moving forward to the rest of the year.
The governor even took some time to criticize former President Donald Trump.
We were involved in 122 lawsuits with the Trump administration. Don't you guys remember that? The chaos, the fear, the anxiety, how he played politics.
Even with the heightened criticism about his focus on the presidential campaign, Governor Newsom expressed his concerns about how much the election will impact the state.
I saw a young girl, 13 years old, who was raped, that was forced to bring to term her baby, clutching a teddy bear. That's the world we're living in under Donald Trump. That's the world he's promoting.
Ultimately, the governor reiterated his dedication to the people of California.
This is a consequential moment for all Californians and all Americans. Forgive me, but this is a very intense thing for me. And so when I say I'm all in, I'm all in.
In Sacramento County, Jeannie Nguyen, ABC 10.
The governor has also openly said he would not run for president against Vice President Kamala Harris. He was asked again if he still felt that way today, and he said yes. Also, we want to mention that coming up a little bit later in the show, as President Biden meets with NATO leaders today in Washington, several Democrats in the Senate now expressed concerns about his candidacy. Plus, also coming up a little bit later in the show, what is Project 2025? Several of you have asked us about it, and tonight we are explaining what it would do and also where it came from. And as Jeannie just mentioned, Governor Gavin Newsom, along with CAL FIRE and Cal OES, all announced plans to help Californians safely get through the extreme heat and wildfire season. CAL FIRE says that they have added more staff and resources to help fight these fires. And so far this season, CAL FIRE has responded to more than 3,500 wildfires, and more than 207,000 acres have burned across the state.
It's important to note that 95% of all wildfires are human caused, and they are currently igniting in light, flashy, cured grasses that are spreading to the brush and timber. And our winds and the recent heat wave have exacerbated the issue, consuming thousands of acres.
Officials with Cal OES encouraged homeowners and residents to protect their homes, have an escape plan in the event of a wildfire, and be prepared to go at any given notice. Governor Newsom also mentioned that the state is working on a heat index to be released in January 2025 to better prepare for these extreme events in the future. And speaking of the heat, we are back up to the triple digits. Let's get over to Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods.
Excessive heat warning in play all the way through Friday. So you're right, we're right back into that excessive heat. Heat advisory in place for the foothills and across the coast with highs near 100, but very warm overnight lows. Our 24-hour temperature change up 5 to over 15 degrees from yesterday. So we're out of the 90s into the 100s right now throughout the valley, parts of the foothills, and close to 90 up top for the Sierra. You might have noticed a little bit of stickiness outside as well. Our dew points are running in the mid 50s to near 60, so you can see our threshold here. That's going to put us right around the sticky range. Not quite oppressive, but it's one of those situations we're not usually used to here in California. Most of the moisture off to the east of us here. We are going to track the slight chance of thunderstorms reappearing for the Sierra forecast heading into our weekend outlook. In the meantime, for tonight, we've got temperatures still in the 100s at 7 p.m., cooling into the 90s by 8 p.m., not into the 80s until 10 o'clock tonight. Forecast low around 71 degrees. We're right back in the 100s again tomorrow.
All right, Monica, thank you. Tonight, police are looking for 2 missing children after their mother was killed in a Sacramento home. Please do me a favor. Take a look at your screen right now. Police are searching for 4-year-old Athena Lee and 2-year-old Mateo Lee. They are believed to be with their father, Cameron Lee. Officers say that their mom, 28-year-old Angelica Bravo, was found dead in a home Monday night on Didcot Circle. Police say Cameron could be driving a gray 2023 Honda Passport with license plate number 9, J like James, U like umbrella, S like Sam, 091. They say that the car is believed to be in Mexico right now.
Locating the kids right now is our #1 priority. And so what we'll be doing as a police department is using every resource we have available, and we're going to be working with every partner agency we can from federal, state, and local agencies.
And if you have any information about the case, call the Sacramento Police Department. Tonight, officials in Stanislaus County have a safety message after 3 people drowned just last week at Modesto Reservoir. The tragedies bring the total number of drownings in Stanislaus County this year to 6. Tonight, ABC 10's Gabriel Porras has more on their efforts.
It's very relaxing, peaceful.
That's why Lucretia Turpin chose to spend her week with her sister and kids at the Modesto Reservoir.
We just like it here. The water's good enough to get in. It's a little bit cold, but you get used to it. We sat and took a deep breath, and we both looked at each other and was like, wait,
Are we supposed to be doing
get
something?
to literally just, this is us. We get to relax.
But that calm can quickly change to chaos.
One subject is missing about 30 yards from the beach.
So Modesto Reservoir, we had our first drowning on June 29th. Our second drowning was July 1st, and then our third drowning was July 6th. All of these drownings could have been prevented with a life jacket.
Like the one that 7-year-old Marianne knows to put on before doing circles in the water.
The life jackets are lined up before the water, so they know to life jacket, then water. Just for not only their safety, but for ours as well, because like we tell them, we get tired out there. We get tired and we can't keep up. And if we don't have a life jacket on, we don't have nothing to rely on and float.
Not everyone has their own life jackets, but officials here at the reservoir don't want that to be an excuse when it comes to staying safe. That's why they offer a life jacket loaner program, offering free life jackets to people all day at the marina on weekends and upon request at the front entrance on weekdays.
We also ask people, keep in mind how much alcohol you consume if you're going to go into the reservoir. Try to swim with somebody else. You know, have a couple people.
With their group all together and life jackets on, the Fisher and Turpin families are ready to relax on the reservoir.
And this one right here, she brought life jackets for, I think, the ducks
Always.
as well.
That is always a must.
It's a have to have.
In Stanislaus County, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Next, on to the point, how one local man is bringing relief to those living on the streets, plus increasing pressure on President Biden, more Democrat donors and leaders questioning if he can win in November. As our region experiences deadly heat, many unhoused people are in the thick of it. Showers by Touchstone provides free showers, food, and clothes to those experiencing homelessness in Sacramento. With triple-digit temperatures this week, they have misters and even converted showers into cooling rooms. We spoke with the veteran who runs the showers about why he felt compelled to start this.
I noticed there was really a big homeless problem, and I thought to myself, well, somebody needs to do something about it. Then I realized I'm no better than anybody else if I don't do something about it. So I like to do, not just say.
The mobile shower station operates 3 days a week at locations around Sacramento. And if you would like to help, we have more information on abc10.com. And speaking of all this heat, let's get over to the chief. We're right back up to the triple digits.
Yeah, there we
Oh my
go.
gosh.
Yeah,
Yes.
didn't take long. Lack of
Yeah.
breeze, and you can see how quickly we're going to change things around. Taking a look at that stretch of 100s that was broken yesterday at 98 degrees for downtown Sacramento. Today, 10 degrees warmer, 108, and we're going to get even hotter for our Thursday forecast. We're right back into that weather impact alert. Now, I am going to continue that through Saturday because we're going to stay in the triple digits. And since it's the weekend, a lot more folks like to be outdoors, trying to get in some activities. Just be aware, limiting time in the sun from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. can help reduce some of the impacts and certainly our risk of those heat illnesses. Big heat returning, though. As you can see, we're warming those temperatures back to near 110 tomorrow, close to record highs, starting off the morning in the 70s. By the noontime hour, we're already near 100. So it's under this ridge of high pressure. We're not going to see much relief until we get to our Sunday forecast. At that point, this low starting to impact us a little bit with some cooler conditions. But even then, you'll see in the 10-day forecast, it's still going to be right about at or above average. Highs for tomorrow in the Sierra near 90. We're in the 100s throughout the foothills with very warm overnight lows. 81 is where we start the day in Placerville with a high tomorrow of 107. We start the day off at 72 for Angels Camp, up to 111. Along the coast, we're in the 70s. That's a great place to get some relief from the heat if your travel plans allow you to hit the road for tomorrow or even into the beginning of the weekend. Fairfield up to 104 tomorrow, Vacaville 108 as we head inland throughout the valley. Widespread 100s with morning lows starting off in the 70s and upper 60s. It's going to be a warmer start tomorrow. Today we still had a little tinge of that cooler air with us. As we head into the weekend forecast, slight chance of thunderstorms for the mountains on Saturday. A look at the foothill forecast. If you're doing any camping, just be aware overnight lows will stay quite warm even into our Sunday forecast. Along the coast, we're in the 70s, dropping to the 60s by Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So our weather impact alert, I'll continue that through Saturday again, primarily because of the outdoor activities that most of us like to do over the weekend forecast. But by the time we get deeper into that 7-day forecast and the weekend, we'll start to see those 90s making a return. Awfully close to record highs, though, Thursday and Friday.
Still ahead onto the point, the latest Democrats calling for President Biden to drop out of the race. Plus, what is Project 2025? Tonight, we explain what it would do and also where it came from. Tonight in Your Voice, Your Vote, more Democratic lawmakers and donors coming forward questioning if President Biden can win in November. All eyes focused on tomorrow, his first news conference in 8 months.
Democratic donor and actor George Clooney now calling on President Biden to drop out of the race. With an opinion piece in the New York Times, Clooney, who hosted a fundraiser for Biden last month, writes, "Most of our members of Congress are opting to wait and see if the dam breaks. But the dam has broken. We can put our heads in the sand and pray for a miracle in November, or we can speak the truth." The Biden campaign not directly responding to Clooney, pointing to Biden's comments he's not leaving the race. Meanwhile, today, more Democratic lawmakers speaking out, worried about Biden's electability.
I am deeply concerned about Joe Biden winning this November because it is an existential threat to the country if Donald Trump wins.
New York Congressman Pat Ryan posting on X writes, "Joe Biden is a patriot, but is no longer the best candidate to defeat Trump." This morning, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on MSNBC.
It's up to the president to decide if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short.
The president today at the NATO summit.
President Biden, is Nancy Pelosi still behind you, sir?
Biden with a fist pump. With his health being questioned, the president joking about his age today while meeting with union leaders.
A lot of you were there with me all the way back when I was a kid, and I'm only 42, but...
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries asked if Biden's decision to run is final.
That's a question that you have to ask President Biden. His decision has been well articulated in a variety of different ways throughout the last 2 weeks.
Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump returned to the campaign trail today. He attended a rally in Miami, Florida, where he brought his youngest son, Barron, on stage. Trump is expected to announce his vice president pick in the coming days. We have been hearing from many of our viewers about the presidential election. One person wrote into To The Point saying, I enjoy your To The Point presentations and appreciate that you show different sides of every situation. I see a lot of media coverage about Biden, but question why no one is reporting Trump's comments. Please explain to the American people what Project 2025 is all about. We also had another viewer that wrote in saying, please stop the Biden bashing. Please cover Project 2025. Well, we heard you. So tonight, ABC 10's Becca Habegger is explaining what Project 2025 is and where it came from.
What is Project 2025? Well, basically, it's a 900-plus page plan to overhaul the U.S. government, meant as a roadmap for the next conservative president. It was developed by the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank, as something for Trump to consider, though we should point out Trump has stated publicly he is not directly connected to this plan. More on that soon. Project 2025 has 4 so-called pillars: policy, personnel, training, and a playbook for the first 180 days of the next administration to be written later. Now, the policy recommendation reads like a conservative wish list. They address immigration, including a border wall. While they don't ban abortion, they do call for taking mifepristone, the so-called abortion pill, off the market, among other abortion-limiting measures. The policy also calls for stronger military, removing diversity initiatives from the Pentagon and reinstating service members who were kicked out for not getting the COVID vaccine. It addresses tax and education policy, overall aiming to defeat what it calls the woke agenda. Here's the president of the Heritage Foundation on Fox News this week.
We are, if President Trump wins and he elects to use some of the plans of Project 2025, again, totally his choice, we are going to close the border as a country. We're also absolutely going to end the Department of Education if President Trump means what he says, and I believe he does, about that.
The personnel section is where the big changes come in. Project 2025 would reclassify as many as 50,000 federal workers as political appointees, essentially at-will workers who could all be fired on day one of a Republican president's term. Now, in their place, the plan calls for an army of loyal conservatives, and it creates a presidential personnel database of approved people. Now, there's also a training program for prospective political appointees called the Presidential Administration Academy. It's free, and most classes are between 30 and 90 minutes, aiming to educate people on how to be government employees. So, who is behind Project 2025? Well, the Conservative Heritage Foundation lists 3 people as in charge of the project, all former Trump administration officials, and some authors of the plan are also former Trump officials. So what does Trump say about all of this? Well, last Friday on Truth Social, he wrote, I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who is behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck, but I have nothing to do with them. President Biden has made this a big issue in recent days, saying Trump is, quote, trying to hide his connections to his allies' extreme Project 2025 agenda. The only problem, it was written for him by those closest to him. Project 2025 should scare every single American. Okay, so keep in mind, as of now, this is only a plan drawn up by a think tank. It's not a law. It's not a bill. It's not even an official Republican Party plan. And if most of this was put into effect, it would almost certainly face immediate legal challenges.
A Sacramento man convicted in the January 6, 2021 insurrection at the U.S. Capitol is asking a federal judge to remove his conviction and let him out of prison. George Riley faced multiple charges related to storming the Capitol, but in an agreement with prosecutors, all but one charge was dropped in exchange for his guilty plea: obstruction of an official proceeding and aiding and abetting. He's been in prison since November, serving an 18-month sentence. But less than 2 weeks ago, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that obstruction of an official act applies more narrowly, such as tampering with evidence in an investigation. So this week, Riley filed court documents asking a federal judge to remove his conviction and allow him out of prison. Coming up next after the break, problems arise as PG&E works to underground their lines. What some of the first customers are saying about it. PG&E launched a massive years-long ad campaign to promote its expensive plan to bury power lines underground. California's biggest power company has become notorious for starting deadly and destructive wildfires, mostly from trees falling on the power lines. PG&E ran ads, including on this station, promising to rebuild itself from the underground up. But a new ABC 10 Originals investigation reveals some of the first PG&E customers to receive PG&E's undergrounding feel cheated.
It's a lie. It's all a lie. I was very happy when I saw those commercials coming out saying they were going to do this, but what I see is not what they promoted on TV.
We'll show you what it looks like on the ground in our latest Fire Power Money investigation. Make sure you tune in tomorrow right here at 6:30 on To The Point. And you already know the deal. If you have something you think we should be looking into, make sure to reach out to me and the team. Remember, strangers are people we just haven't gotten the chance to meet yet. So take the time to get to know someone. Have a great night, and I'll see you right here tomorrow. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.